following programme was produced as part of the Radio Gaga training project for older people, funded by the Awards for All Big Lottery UK. All presenters on Liverpool Community Radio have taken part in our volunteer training programme. This course is free and teaches people how to produce and present their own radio programmes. For more information, contact Steve at l-c-r.co.uk or call 0151 345 1290 or visit our website www.l-c-r.co.uk.
Have you heard of CAM, Complementary and Alternative Medicine? How about holistic or integrated healthcare? Well, you're listening to Maria Barrington with The Integrated View, only on Liverpool Community Radio, and we'll be seeing what's going on in this area. Hello and welcome to An Integrated View with me, Maria Barrington. It's been facilitated by Liverpool Community Radio, and I'm one of those older people who finished the course and now I'm here owning the mic. And today we've got two people from the Linda McCartney unit who have come to join us to tell us about the fact that local patients can get access to complementary therapies just down the road in the Royal Hospital. And maybe you're wondering, why have I used this as my programme, the basis of my programme? Well, that's because for the past 28 years I've been practising and teaching a range of therapies that have an holistic bias. And in 2006 I co-founded a social enterprise, a not-for-profit company, to provide access to holistic approaches to health and well-being for people who were socially and economically isolated and wouldn't otherwise be able to access them. When I started my holistic healthcare practice in the 1980s, anything in the UK that wasn't delivered by the medical establishment was labelled alternative, which was often a pseudonym for quackery. Gradually that label was changed and a new label emerged. First of all, it was holistic, which meant anything that wasn't medically based, clinically based, was holistic. And then holistic morphed into CAM, standing for complementary and alternative medicine. Now the label is, then it went into just complementary therapies, and now the label is integrative or integrated therapies, which means that the two different views are starting to come together. And one of the ways in which they're starting to come together is in our local hospital. I have with me today Maureen Gilday, who's the Macmillan Cancer Volunteer Coordinator at the Cancer Wellbeing Centre based in the Linda McCartney unit, and also Michelle, who's a person who's accessed those complementary therapies. And they're going to be talking to us about the exciting events unfolding within the Royal. But before we do that, I'm going to play a track from a Tina Turner record. The album's called Beyond Children, and this particular track is called Savisam Svatsir Bhavatu.
The views of presenters and guests on LCR, Liverpool Community Radio, are not necessarily representative of LCR, its directors or funders.
Have you heard of CAM, Complementary and Alternative Medicine? How about holistic or integrated healthcare? Well, you're listening to Maria Barrington with The Integrated View, only on Liverpool Community Radio, and we'll be seeing what's going on in this area. Hi, it's Maria Barrington back again. Did you enjoy Tina Turner? Did you know that she's a Buddhist? She's a practicing Buddhist, and that's part of a brilliant album that she's got. Anyway, enough of Tina. Let's get back to the interesting stuff, which is we've got with us here today Maureen Gilday, who is the Macmillan Cancer Volunteer Coordinator at the Macmillan Wellbeing Centre. So, Maureen, thanks for coming today. I know you're very busy, so I really do appreciate you putting yourself out for me for this programme.
That's fine.
So the first question is, would you tell us something about the Linda McCartney unit, please?
The Linda McCartney Centre was originally a nursing college.
Right.
And when the new hospital was built in the 1970s, and then all of the students went to Liverpool John Moores University, it was a disused building, so there was a forget-me-not appeal, and the public raised £4 million, and it was turned into the Linda McCartney Centre as we know it today. And as you know, Linda McCartney died from breast cancer, and it was named after her, so she died in 1998.
Thank you. I didn't know that about it being an old building. So, how is your part of the cancer wellbeing, the Macmillan Cancer Wellbeing Centre? How is that funded?
The Cancer Wellbeing Centre was thought about initially, and charitable funds had been raised in order to set up the centre itself. So there was lots and lots of fundraising events and lots of hard work that went on to actually create it. So we have 2 lovely complementary therapy rooms based in the centre. We're based on the ground floor in the Linda McCartney Centre. Everything has been set up using the charitable funds. So it's a fantastic service.
I've seen it, it is.
I know.
Okay, so how does the Linda McCartney unit link into the other departments within the Royal and the Macmillan Cancer Centre? How does it all link together?
The Cancer Wellbeing Centre is based on the ground floor in the Linda McCartney Centre, and in the Linda McCartney Centre itself there's the ground floor and then there's 4 floors. The first floor they have the chemotherapy unit where patients can go along and they can have the treatments there. They've also got a palliative care unit there and a psychology service on the first floor. Second floor is the outpatients department. Third floor is the breast unit itself. They've got a state-of-the-art breast unit, and on the 4th floor they've got research and development.
So it's really broad-ranging, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so what does your job entail? Just describe for us a typical day.
There isn't really a typical day. The role itself that I have as Macmillan Cancer Volunteer Coordinator, I oversee the volunteers within the cancer services. So if people do want to volunteer anywhere within the cancer services, I would be responsible for coordinating where they are, what they're doing in their training and things. I also coordinate the complementary therapy service, so that involves recruiting volunteer therapists and booking the appointments for the patients and seeing patients on a daily basis as well, and if there's any problems or issues, signposting them to the right services too, and also fundraising as well. So there's lots that goes on, and no one day is the same as the other. One day it could be that I am constantly seeing patients, and then doesn't leave a lot for anything else to be done then.
So it is a broad-ranging job. What attracted you to the post in the first place?
The fact that the post was supporting patients initially, that's what drew me to help people, and also the fact that the complementary therapies are involved as well, because that's something I'm really passionate about in terms of the benefits that people can get from the complementary therapies, and not just for the patients but for the carers too, because it has a huge impact on everybody in the family.
That cancer word does it?
Does.
Yeah. Okay, so what's done within that broad spectrum, what's done to ensure that there's clear and open communication between everybody involved with that wide range?
The centre itself, everything, it's centralised, so everything comes through the Cancer Wellbeing Centre. So whether it's the patients who want to self-refer, whether the clinical nurse specialists refer, therapists who provide the service for us are all volunteers, and they would probably maybe do things differently in their own private practice, but whilst they're in the trust, we've got the boundaries and we've got the policies and procedures so that everything is standardised. So it's sort of making sure that everything comes through my office, really, and it can all be monitored and assessed.
I'm looking at you and listening to all of that and thinking you should be one of those many-handed Hindu goddesses really to get all that done. I don't know how you can manage to get it all done and do it so brilliantly, because I've been around when you're doing that job and you do it brilliantly.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So before we go on to I feel now as though I've got a better understanding of how the Linda McCartney fits in and how the Macmillan Cancer Wellbeing Centre fits into the Linda McCartney unit. And it wasn't clear to me before. So from my point of view, that's brilliant. I'm really pleased about that. Now we're going to go on to look at the different complementary therapies. But before we do, I'm going to play another track. This time it's Lorena McKennitt, and the song is called Lullaby.
Senses are shaken and the soul is driven to madness. Who can stand? When the souls of the oppressed fight in the troubled air that rages, who can stand? When the whirlwind of fury comes from the throne of God and the frowns of his countenance drive the nations together, who can stand? When sin claps his broad wings over the battle and sails rejoicing in a flood of death, when souls are torn to everlasting fire and fiends of hell rejoice upon the slain, oh, who can stand? Oh, who hath caused this? Oh, who can answer at the throne of God? The kings and the nobles of the land have done it. Hear it not, heaven, thy ministers have done it.
For the very best in jazz music here on LCR, Liverpool Community Radio, tune in to the Jazz Programme, presented by Liverpool Jazz, live on the first Monday of every month between 2 and 4 p.m. The programme includes news, reviews, previews, interviews, lively chat and a roundup of what's going on in live jazz education and performance in and around Liverpool. If you miss the programme, we repeat it for the rest of the month at 2 p.m. and 2 a.m. every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and at 10 p.m. to 12 midnight on Saturdays and Sundays. So for the very best in jazz, tune in to the Jazz Programme here on LCR, Liverpool Community Radio. You'll end up saying, I didn't know I liked jazz.
Have you heard of CAM, Complementary and Alternative Medicine? How about holistic or integrated healthcare? Well, you're listening to Maria Barrington with The Integrated View, only on Liverpool Community Radio, and we'll be seeing what's going on in this area. Hi, you're back with Maria Barrington on The Integrated View. Earlier on you heard Maureen Gilday, who's based at the Macmillan Wellbeing Centre in the Linda McCartney unit, talking about the structure of the organisation. Now we're going to go on and find out about any issues that have arisen. So, Maureen, what, if any, issues have arisen regarding the LinkedIn service that you were just talking about between the different parts of the unit?
Yeah, the main thing is really, I think, that it's managed single-handedly by myself. We're having a review at the end of October, service review, and that will identify any strengths for the service, any weaknesses, and hopefully we will be able to address that.
Okay.
You know, when we do identify any strengths and weaknesses, and you know, if there's things that we can improve on, things we need to put into place, then hopefully that will come out of the review.
Have you got any thoughts yourself right now that you're willing to share?
Yes, possibly. Maybe an additional pair of hands.
yeah, maybe. So when this service is being delivered, do you assess whether it's helpful to the service users?
Yes.
And if you do, how do you assess it?
Yes, we do. We regularly seek feedback from the service users in terms of how the treatments they're having, what complementary therapies they have, how beneficial it is if they've had any symptom relief, how they found the actual complementary therapist, how they found the booking, the appointments. So we try and look at it and evaluate all elements of the service.
So where does that evaluation go to? Does it stay with you, or? It stays with me.
At the service review at the end of October, all of that information is collated, and then we will feed that back to the Macmillan development manager and also the lead nurse as well.
So it goes back into the clinical activities as well. Yeah. All right. So what are the quality control criteria for therapists working within the unit?
All of the therapists who are working with us are all volunteers. Having said that, they still need to be fully qualified to a level 3 in any of the therapies that they offer. They need to be insured, to have their own indemnity insurance, and they need to complete the core skills induction. They need to have all the DBS checks carried out, occupational health carried out to ensure that they're fit enough to do the role for us. So all of the checks really, basically, if they were an employed member of staff. CPD is required as well, professional development. And we're looking at offering some additional training for the volunteers who come and work with us in the centre.
What would the additional training be?
We've got a session booked in September for the Macmillan Information Centre manager is going to put on some cancer awareness sessions. Macmillan have offered some cancer awareness sessions as well, free sessions, and we're hoping that we're going to be able to look at getting some formal accreditation in terms of, you know, the Glassbridge Centre. We can apply for some courses there. So it's hopefully, you know, that the therapists who are coming and volunteering with us, I particularly see it as a two-way process. It shouldn't all be that therapists are providing the service for us and not getting anything out of it. It should be that they, professional development for them, and they're going to get some training, additional skills to take into their own practice. I think it's very important.
Yeah, I do too. I agree with you. How many therapists are currently at the unit?
We've got 9 at the moment. I've just placed another advert this month, so we're hopefully going to get some more therapists to add to our little team. So
what's the range of therapies that are available at the moment?
I think for the centre itself, we've got quite a broad range of therapies on offer. We've got aromatherapy, body massage, Indian head massage, Reiki, reflexology, emotional freedom technique, and hypnotherapy.
That is a good range, isn't it?
It's a very good range.
But what made you choose those therapies rather than others? Because there are
there's quite a lot of others.
Things.
Yes, in terms of other centres that have been up and running, when we started our service, then we looked at other things that were running in other services, and they were the most common ones that we used in terms of providing the therapies for patients and carers.
So there was already a kind of a history of those therapies being useful for people. Okay. Are there any challenges in running this service?
Yes.
They are. What are they?
Yes, there are challenges.
You've been waiting for this, haven't you?
The fact that the centre itself is self-funding, it was set up initially with charitable funds, and in order to sustain the service, we have to carry out fundraising throughout the year. We rely on donations as well, so it can be quite challenging in that respect.
So how do you intend to continue to meet the challenges?
Hopefully, out of this service review, if it's demonstrated it's of use, it's patients getting benefit from it, and the carers as well. Who knows? We may get some funding.
From where?
We can look at funding from the likes of the lottery. We can look at the Learn and Grow. There's lots of things out there that we could maybe tap into.
Right.
But we can see where we can go.
And that way you keep talking about.
Won't me? No.
Would it be you? Would it be your job to do that? To do those funding applications? Okay.
Yes, it would.
So we'll just leave that in the air, shall we? So, what are your plans for the future of the service?
I'm hoping that. I think for what we offer at the moment, it's fantastic. We've got a huge range of complementary therapies there. But we are looking to include mindfulness sessions. We're looking at a mindfulness programme. We're going to pilot that. It's an 8-week programme. We are also looking at getting some yoga teachers in who are kindly going to volunteer for us. So they're going to provide sessions each week. And the likes of the haematology unit on the 7th floor, 7Y, they've got a day ward where they have chemotherapy on the wards there. So we're hoping that we're going to get some little hand and arm massage service going up on there. So it's directly going to the people who need it.
When they need it, because that's one of the issues that I was thinking about. Quite often when people are receiving the therapy as an inpatient, they've got lots of emotional and other kinds of issues that really could be helped by these complementary approaches.
They could, and that's something that I'm really keen to get up and running. So it's people who need it, they're getting it at the right time.
You'll do it, Maureen. I've got a lot of confidence in you. You'll get us there. All right, well, I'm finished asking you the questions, Maureen, and I really do want to thank you for taking the time out to come and share that information with us.
It's been a pleasure.
Oh, thank you. In a moment we'll be talking to Michelle, who is a service user, but before we do, we're going to go to another track, and this is from a group called India Jiva, and the album is called Universal Mother. I hope you like this track that's coming up now.
Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Riryo Mokshiyamaritam
Have you heard of CAM, complementary and alternative medicine? How about holistic or integrated healthcare? Well, you're listening to Maria Barrington with The Integrated View, only on Liverpool Community Radio, and we'll be seeing what's going on in this area. Did you like that? That last record by India Jiva. The title of it was, well, never mind. What it actually means is the life-giving prayer. I can't pronounce the words properly. Now, we've got with us in the studio also Michelle Manning, and she's going to give us a different perspective on the service because she's actually been at the receiving end. So I'd like to welcome you, Michelle, and just make sure that before you start talking that you are clear, that you don't have to talk about anything that you feel uncomfortable with. You're just sharing those parts of your diagnosis and journey and treatment that you feel happy to share.
Oh yeah,
okay?
No, that's fine, Maria.
Brilliant.
Absolutely fine.
All right, so how did you hear about the service at the Linda McCartney unit?
Yeah, I heard about the service through staff, obviously on the chemotherapy wards, and nurses, but also friends who was in the same situation as me and who had already, tried. They'd been to the Look Good Feel Great meetings where they all get together, and it's all voluntary work where the ladies come in and show women how to put their, to make the most of the makeup, what they can use to, obviously, when you've had chemotherapy and you do have hair loss and eyebrow loss and eyelashes loss, you lose a lot of confidence, and a lot of the women obviously enjoyed going down to the well-being and having the complimentary the makeup sessions, and they felt a lot more confident. So I heard about it through other people and the staff in the Linda McCartney unit. Okay,
had you ever tried complementary therapies before?
No, I'd only ever received hand massage. We used to have a lady in where I worked, and you used to have hand massages, but that's the only therapy that I've ever had before, or any massage.
Okay.
So I'm a virgin to it, really.
So when you heard about it, did you have any thoughts before you tried it? What made you choose to access it?
Since being diagnosed with cancer, it has been difficult, to cope with the changes, and you just want to be back to yourself. So it's actually getting your confidence and your self-esteem back. And I did understand that, and I have read up on the reflexology and the Reiki and how it makes you feel a lot better to physically and psychologically wise. So emotionally wise as well.
Okay, so you heard that it was available.
Yes.
And then you read up to find out what the different therapies
were
about. You didn't go in blind.
No, because all the information that you can get from, obviously there's all the Macmillan books and how to cope with cancer and how to deal with your emotional side, and there's everything there. But then to actually be able to, have therapy, which helps you. It helps you a lot more than reading all the books and all the information. It's hands-on.
But you had some idea of what you were going to choose.
I did. Yeah.
So which therapies did you try?
I've tried Reiki, which is the universal life energy, which I found absolutely fantastic. It's obviously where it's like through energy, and you lay and you're comfortable, and it's not even touching, it's actually just hands over, feeling the energy in the body. And this actually gives a fantastic feeling of warmth, and it brings on a lot of like sleepiness, to be honest, because that's the worst thing as well. After going through chemotherapy and radiotherapy and the stress, your sleep is totally interrupted. But actually trying Reiki felt me, more relaxed, and my sleeping pattern started going back to normal.
Okay, so when you went into it's a separate room that you walked into.
Yes, it is, yeah.
And so, did you have to undress? Did you?
Yeah, no, not for Reiki. No, it's
so
just
you stayed clothed.
Yes, definitely, and just obviously there's a lovely relaxing chair and it's all comfortable. And it's like, it's just like walking into heaven. Really, it's just it's tranquil. It's fantastic.
So you lay down on
lay down, and so comfortable.
Close your eyes.
Close your eyes, and listen to relaxing music. And then gone in heaven.
Okay, so it was really, you found it useful.
I found it really useful, but also emotionally wise as well. It relaxes you. You can get rid of a lot of stress.
Okay, so that's Reiki. Did you try any others?
Yes, I've tried EFT, the Emotional Freedom Technique.
So what's that about?
That's about learning to control senses of anxiety by tapping. And I found that really, really helpful. And I've actually looked into that more by Googling it and trying to try and do it for myself when I do have those feelings of stress which come over me a lot. And that does help. If I can go into a room and I can, do the EFT and actually bring myself back to tranquility.
So it's not just that you go to somebody else and that somebody else helps you to get control of your emotions and the way you feel, but that you learned how to do it yourself and incorporate it into life
through the Wellbeing Centre, obviously. The what I'd received there, and then obviously then tried to look at it myself. Obviously if you can't get in all the time, for appointments and things, but it has been useful, really useful.
So are they so Reiki and EFT?
Yeah, and aromatherapy.
You had aromatherapy.
Reflexology. I received reflexology, which is absolutely, I've never had reflexology before, and it's amazing what people can tell from your feet and how they know exactly what you're going through or how things. It's absolutely amazing. It's really good.
So it sounds as though you really got some benefit from receiving those.
Oh, totally.
Those therapies.
The worst thing about having cancer is it stops your life for how long you're going through the treatment, and all you're wanting to do is to just be yourself again.
Yeah.
And receiving these treatments and therapies do actually, bring that control back to your life and make you feel like you again. Yeah, it's getting you back, and that's every person who's going through this just wants to be them before they had cancer.
Yeah. How about your family members? Would they? Because Maureen was saying earlier on that it's for carers as well. It's not just for the. And not only for the people.
Oh yeah, I'd have to try and I wouldn't be able to get my appointments in. I wouldn't be able to keep them away. But they've not actually tried it yet. But they would really enjoy that. Yeah, definitely, because it does affect everybody. It does affect the whole family.
Did you notice that the other members of your family were being affected?
I did, because. My children were just coming to the age where they're actually finishing college and finishing sixth form and heading hopefully for university, and it was my son actually did really well last year, and he went to Ormskirk University and he's doing business management. And my daughter has come through it as well with me, and she's going to York University next week, and she's doing business management as well. So through all this, they've actually, I can't believe it, they've flown as well. They've kept positive, And really that's through myself being positive as well to get through this, and that's what the Wellbeing Centre also does to you. It does make you positive, and that makes you stronger to fight cancer.
Thanks, Michelle. That's really important information.
Thank you.
You felt as though you got a benefit from it. What if you just had a magic wand and you could wave it? Is there anything that you'd like to change about the provision?
Oh, if I had a magic wand, like ideally, I'd love it to be alongside when you're receiving chemotherapy and radiotherapy. I'd love it to be alongside the therapies, because women, everybody and men as well, they would benefit so much from having that as your therapy to recover from cancer. Obviously the chemotherapy is, killing the cancer, and the radiotherapy, but the well-being of the therapies, the alternatives, is how it makes you feel. It's the emotional side. Obviously that's not really touched on. So it would be great if it was like government funded to actually have that alongside, and even in the same unit where the chemotherapy is, or the radiotherapy and everything else. That would be amazing. That would be my wish.
Okay, well, hopefully Maureen can grant your wish.
Yes, hopefully. Definitely.
No pressure on you, Maureen.
My fairy godmother.
All right, we're thanks, Michelle. Do you know what? I can't think of another thing to ask you. You've answered all of my questions brilliantly.
Oh, you're welcome.
And you look fantastic, I've got to say.
Thank you. I've got hair
absolutely
back.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Hair, eyebrows and eyelashes. Back again.
You look brilliant.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to play the next track now, which is... I can't remember what my last... Nacha Bear. Just listen to this. It's absolutely fabulous.
Do you speak to me like you speak to God? All of the love and understanding between the Father and the Son. Do you believe in the perfectness of where you are? These are my people, these are my children, this is the land that I would fight for. My solidarity is telling me to patiently be moving the musical medicine around the planet in a hurry, cause there's no time to wait. Gotta wake up the people, time to stand up and say we know what we are for, and how we became so informed. Bodies of info, performing such miracles. I am a miracle, made up of particles, and in this existence I'll stay persistent, and I'll make a difference, and I will have lived it. Aloha, aloha. the day that I dare wake up and transcend the holy makeup. I am capable, that's right. I'm powerful. The day that I don't wake up and transcend the holy makeup, I am on my way to a different place.
Isn't that a fabulous song? I'd lost my piece of paper before, so now I can tell you that his name is Nako Bear and the song is called Aloha Keakua. I just think it's brilliant. We've come to the end of the programme now, and so Maureen and Michelle, this is your opportunity to add anything that you think needs to be expanded on, or, you know, anything that you want to add. So Maureen, you, when the music was playing, we're just talking about sometimes the blaring of lines, and you wanted to clarify.
Yes, the Cancer Wellbeing Centre, because it's located on the ground floor adjacent to the Macmillan Information Centre, it sometimes gets a little bit confusing in terms of what service we offer. So our service is for patients and carers who've been affected by cancer. They need to be diagnosed or being treated at the Royal Liverpool and Broad Green Hospital within the last 5 years, and the service is open for men and women. So because we're in the Linda McCartney Centre, people sometimes assume it is just for ladies. So it's for men and women.
Men and women. And they can access the complementary therapies as well. All right. I think that anybody listening to this will be surprised and amazed at the range of therapies that are available to them. I don't think many people would have been aware of that range. So I'm really grateful for you to coming in to share that information with us. Michelle, did you want to say something else?
I just want to say thank you to Maureen and all the therapists who give up their time volunteering to help this and help the people and all the families as well, because it does make a big difference and it helps you get through these dark days. And but obviously it's really helpful. Thank you.
Thank you for coming
welcome.
along. Thank you for using the service, and thank you for sharing your views with us today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you both for coming along and helping me to get this show on the road.
Thank you, Maria.
Making it better than it would have been if you hadn't have come. So now this is me, Maria Barrington, signing out from An Integrated View. I hope the people listening have learned something from it, have enjoyed listening to my two guests, Maureen Gilday and Michelle Manning, and I hope you've liked the range of music that I've played. So that's me saying bye. Bye. Have you heard of CAM, Complementary and Alternative Medicine? How about holistic or integrated healthcare? Well, you're listening to Maria Barrington with The Integrated View, only on Liverpool Community Radio, and we'll be seeing what's going on in this area.
The following programme was produced as part of the Radio Gaga training project for older people, funded by the Awards for All Big Lottery UK. All presenters on Liverpool Community Radio have taken part in our volunteer training programme. This course is free and teaches people how to produce and present their own radio programmes. For more information, contact Steve at l-c-r.co.uk or call 0151 345 1290 or visit our website www.l-c-r.co.uk.